lot of early reactions and early reviews for this film online, and let's just say it was divided. Like I came out of the theater for my screening, and I was looking online the next day. Let me see what people were saying. Let me share this tab instead, right? People were they were mixed. They were mixed. Like if you look on IMDb, it's got a 6.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 50%. And even my usually most trustworthy place, Google users, 63%. Right? So Metacritic, 42%. It's looking like a dud. But I'm going to tell you right now. Let me tell you right now. This movie right here. Oh, in case you're wondering, this little metal awesomeness is, in fact, the AMC popcorn holder. I got it. I got the AMC popcorn holder. I got it, y'all. This is like a cool little thing. I saw it at the theater and I was like, yes, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And it's a popcorn holder. It's the wild thing. All the people in the movie theater was like in shock and awe. Even before the movie started, they were like, what? Where did you get that? So yeah, it's a cool little popcorn holder. It's actually a metal shield. It's got a really solid paint job. I thought it's got the luster pretty perfectly. It's got all the little nooks and details in the shield, all the little etchings that I thought were really cool. You can see all the new updated point design. I really enjoyed this. Cool little toy I got. Marvel's not sponsoring or endorsing, nor did they give me this for free. This I had to pay for. But it's a cool little shield. I enjoyed it, and it's a little bit of indicative of what I felt overall about this movie, Captain America 4. Now, I know, again, this movie has got some divisive reactions. People are all over the place with their reviews. If you saw my out of theater reaction, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool movie. I think you guys might enjoy it too if you give it a chance. So let's talk about it a little bit, right? Put up some good little background stuff, right? You guys like background. So let's break down everything, right? There's the jaw-dropping action in the movie, some head-scratching moments in the movie. And what the hell did they do to Isaiah Bradley's hair in the movie? Like, yo, this is some wild stuff. So sit down, relax, let's talk about it. So picture this. It's been 5 months since President Ross, played by Harrison Ford in this movie, has taken the reins, right? He is now POTUS. He's in charge. He is commander-in-chief. And the world is in a bit of chaos. Things are getting a little out of hand. There are celestials' hands coming out of the earth. And he reaches out to Sam Wilson. Yes, Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, to reassemble the Avengers. The same guy who caused the disbandment of the Avengers with the Sokovia Accords now is like, you know what? Could you bring him back? And the vibe of the movie, with all of this in mind, from the beginning, it makes you wonder if what you're seeing is just going to be the dawn of a new Captain America, fresh for the job, taking on and earning his mantle, or if it's just going to be a rehash of what we've seen before. Is it going to be like Winter Soldier light with, a modern twist? I think the movie does a good job. It doesn't waste any time. Right from the beginning, right from the opening sequence, we see epic fight scenes that remind us of classic Marvel moments. There's definitely things that you're going to see right from the beginning. You're going to be like Falcon and Winter Soldier vibes. You're going to see uh, Captain America, the Winter Soldier movie vibes. Um, you're going to see some of the classic Cap charisma and attributes right from the beginning. And that's cool. But then you start getting into the story and you start realizing it's not just all punches and action. There's a storyline about stolen adamantium and political tensions that make the movie really feel like more than just a superhero flick. It's got this espionage. It's got that grounded feeling like, somebody stole something. We got there's a mystery here. There's a political intrigue going on. There's a lot of additional things going on with the movie, and besides just people in costumes punching other people in costumes. So I think that it does a good job at setting the tone and getting you intrigued by the type of story that they're trying to tell. There's also, I won't say this. I don't think there's any social commentary in this movie. So it's a little bit different than the prior Captain America movies, where Captain America was just straight up critiquing government, right? He was like, yo, America don't know what the hell they doing. I don't agree with everything. Like those other Captain America movies, it was like, aside from when Captain America was just straight up fighting Nazis in the first movie, like Captain America 2 and Captain America 3 was all about Steve Rogers was like, yo, you guys, I don't know if I want to fight for America. I don't think this shield stands for America. Like his Captain America, like Chris Evans' Captain America was always going against the government. He was like, yo, you guys are trying to hurt my boy Bucky. I'm going to be a fugitive and go out on the run and fix things from the outside. I'm going to figure out what's going on with Bucky. And you guys are infiltrated by Hydra. You guys are Nazis too. I don't really work with the American government because they had that, and they had that social commentary that America was just turning into the new Nazi party. Like they were like Captain America with Chris Evans was way heavy with the social political commentary. And this movie, I think instead is a lot safer. They don't really go into the political commentary. Now, some people might think, you got a Red Hulk who it happens to be the president of the US. Maybe that's political. It's not. There's really like Harrison Ford's Everett Ross is so far removed from politicism. It's wild. The most you have is what we've seen as the evolution of that character of Everett Ross, which is homie having a temper and still it getting him into trouble. So it touches on those, like I would say the most social political thing they probably touch on in the movie is probably the prison system. And political trust is as usual with Captain America movies, but the prison system, like what it does to not even black, just people, what it does to people and how it makes them like, don't come visit me no more. I'm a broken man. Like it breaks people. That's probably the most political thing in this movie. And that's probably the most amount of thinking you're going to do while watching the action scenes. Now, talking about the action scenes, I got to say, Sam Wilson, yo, the way he handles that shield, the way my man is handling that shield, like he's out here pulling off some super soldier style type moves. Like the way he gets into work with that shield, like I was in shock. I was like, yo, will you learn to do that at? Like he was pretty good at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My man is Steve Rogers level with the shield now. Like you'll see if you haven't already seen the movie. I think those of you who have will agree. Sam learned how to handle his business with that shield. Now the choreography in the movie with the shield, with everything is on point. The fights are pretty solid. Every punch I think feels like it's been dialed up to 11. There are some things that I think is a little much, especially for somebody who ain't got no super soldier serum. Like that shield should have shattered his arm a couple times, and I think I saw Sam punch through concrete. I think I saw Sam, but like he like Bruce Lee'd his fist through some. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it does seem super soldier-ish. But I think it was pretty cool. The fights really cool. They're gritty, right energy. And then they supplemented with the soundtrack. They put MOP, Annie up, jack that fool, Annie up, kidnap that fool, get him, get him, get him, get him. Like the way that they do that, I thought was really, really cool because it was it felt, I just like that music. I just like MOP. I was like, yes, this is where we are now. I support all of this. Now back to character work. Anthony Mackie, he does his thing as the new Captain America. He brings wit, he brings charm, he brings grit, he brings action, he brings charisma. He really stepped into the role of Captain America in a way that I think most people will say he's, if you look at things to critique in the movie, he's not one of them. Maybe some of the writing is, but him becoming Captain America and being Captain America is not a problem. My man Joaquin Torres here, he's solid too. He's very charismatic. He's very fun to watch. And then you got Giancarlo Esposito coming out as the villain. We already know what he does as a villain. We've seen him in The Mandalorian. We've seen him in Breaking Bad. We already know how my man works as a villain. So I think that they did a solid job with this movie in those moments and with those things. But yeah, not every character landed smoothly. Isaiah Bradley's storyline, played by Carl Lumley, his character, you know, his character took a turn that left me scratching my head. It's like, why are you even here? Like, and then there's Shira Haas. Like, if you take those two characters out of the movie entirely, you can still have the movie. And that's wild to me because it doesn't feel like they actually need to be there. They're not adding a large amount to the overall progression of the story. But yeah, I think that the movie stumbled and missed yet another opportunity to give us something great with Isaiah Bradley. I'm not saying he was terrible. He's completely out of place with this movie. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we would have been served better. Like, I've been hoping, and I actually said this to Nate Moore to his face. I was like, yo, I really need to see Isaiah Bradley in his prime through a flashback. I need to see some moments where he's running around and he sees Bucky and they fight. I need to see this. This is money on the table. People want to see these moments. I think it would really shine. I think Isaiah Bradley has so much potential as a legacy character to fill in the blanks in Marvel's history in the 50s. We got Michael Douglas's Ant-Man. We got Lawrence Fishburne's Giant Man. We got Janet Van Dyne with, oh man, why am I blanking on her name? Michelle Pfeiffer playing her. We've got all these actors who can help fill in the blank in the 50s. Let's just jump with it. We got Captain America now too. It just feels like a missed opportunity. So, and Shira Haas, man, she is a tiny woman. That was so distracting. Like, she's really cool in the movie. She's fine. I don't have a problem with her performance. Sometimes she was a little distracting because she is such a petite woman. And also because she didn't need to be there. It's like she was added on. Like, she's such a phenomenal actress. I know at one point that she was going to be introduced as her Israeli superhero character Sabra, but because of social climate today, they kind of scaled all of that back. So it felt like she was superfluous to the rest of the story. She just wasn't as important. And if you cut her and Isaiah Bradley out, you can kind of still have the same movie. Another thing, the leader, right? Tim Blake Nelson, right? He shows up and his character seems more like a quirky throwback to a video game enemy than an actual Marvel villain. Like, he seems so secondary if you look at all the marketing and everything leading up to this film, it seems like the Red Hulk is the villain of the movie, but it's supposed to be the leader, Tim Blake Nelson. Nothing the way that they handled his characters, got issues with it. He doesn't seem important. He seems secondary. He's just a guy that happens to be doing things while they're trying to do other stuff. He's more like a nuisance than a threat. I know if you were to compare him in other Captain America movies, he's supposed to be like the Baron Zemo of this movie, but he never really quite reached that status, even though he's not. He's supposed to be, right? Like he's the spiritual successor or the spiritual Baron Zemo of this movie. So this movie does have some issues with the way that they're adding characters or handling characters. Did I even talk about the Red Hulk? Like the Red Hulk was cool too, because I liked all the action. I liked the way that Ross teased his character all throughout the movie. The only thing, and this is probably just for me, for someone who is a fan of the comics, I do miss the aspects of the character from the comics that made him unique to Bruce Banner's Hulk. He seemed more like a Hulk like Banner in that he transformed when he was angry. He was a separate personality. He didn't seem to have control of his actions as the Hulk. But it didn't have any of that other stuff that I know from the comics. In the comics, he's in full control of himself as the Hulk. He does have a slightly even edgier personality, but he can talk, he can think, he's tactical. In fact, the Red Hulk in the comics was somebody who operated mostly from the shadows, just randomly popping up and causing damage and then leaving, doing like tactical strikes as opposed to just showing up and causing mass carnage. We didn't get a lot of that, nor did we get the other aspects of his powers, right? In the comics, again, he's not just gamma powered, he's also powered by cosmic radiation, just like the Fantastic Four. So when he gets angry, he gets hot. We missed out on that stuff, but it was still a cool movie. Now, I know some of you might still be thinking, is this really just another attempt to ride on the coattails of the Winter Soldier and what Marvel did back in the day? And are they chasing their past? And the answer is, yeah, in some ways, yeah, they are. But I think the film balances that homage enough with fresh energy and good performances from the leads to really be enjoyable, right? It's not one of those movies like some of Marvel's other releases that are just like, wow, like this isn't Ant-Man and 3. This isn't Ant-Man 3. It's not even close to Ant-Man 3. It's not a disaster, but it's not perfect. It's a mixed bag, and it's going to leave you both excited. It's going to leave you confused. But that's really just like what a lot of Marvel movies tend to do. So we're going to have to break it down with the pros. Anthony Mackie, he nails it as Captain America. The action scenes are cool. They're well choreographed. Giancarlo Esposito, he adds some really serious, menacing energy in the villain role. Even if there's a lot of Winter Soldier vibes. The soundtrack is okay. The movie isn't weighed down by heavy political themes. It's actually the least political Captain America movie I've ever seen. But then there's some knocks to it, right? There's some cons. Isaiah Bradley's arc doesn't really fit. Feels off kilter. It's just weird. Shira Haas's character, she doesn't get enough depth. She doesn't get enough anything in this movie. Tim Blake Nelson, the leader, he's more of a nuisance than a threat. He really misses the mark in that regard. Some plot points, a little bit confusing. Some of them feel forced. Some of them feel Winter Soldier-ish. And let me not even get started with the end credits. Oh my gosh. The end credits, yo. You can wait for Disney Plus for the end credits. It's fine. It's fine. If you decide like, oh, I gotta go, I gotta use the bathroom, I gotta get home, I gotta get to my car. It's fine. It's fine. Look, it's cool. It's cool. Get up, leave. It's okay. At the end of the day, Captain America: Brave New World, like I said, it's not a blockbuster. It's solid. It's not perfect. It's in the Marvel universe. It has moments of brilliance, some really cool shield moves, some really funny dialogue, some really good performances. But I want to hear from you. What did you all think of the film? Did Anthony Mackie or Sam Wilson's performance hit the mark for you, or were you wanting more? Anyway, I'm curious what you guys say about this movie in the comments. I've been ranting for a little bit. Um uh it cut me out. I'm back. Yeah, I missed all of my rant. I just talked about the movie for 15 minutes to myself. I'm gonna have to upload this one separate, y'all. Damn. It was good too. It was a great review. It was a great review. Policy violations. I'm sure this didn't happen on Twitter. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna upload it separate. I was just talking about Captain America. It was getting good too. It got real good. Disney don't play, man. I think they cut it off again. All right, well, shoot. I guess I'm gonna have to wrap up. Anyway, look, guys, sorry, I don't know what happened, but thank you for those who are able to watch. If you're new here to the movie blog, do me a favor, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to check you all later. Peace.